What is up, Pyromaniacs? Pyrostasis is here. We are back in the world of EVE Online, continuing on with our Alpha to Omega challenge. I think we're at 10.5 million, plus we've got 22 million, so we're at about 32 million, give or take, in orders. I haven't really hit the 17 order cap yet because we've just been getting destroyed with the lack of physical ISK capital. So that's what's been hurting me. Once we can get through that, get a little bit more ISK, probably up around the 100 million mark, we'll be able to start actually buying in bulk, which will help out significantly. Unfortunately, we're not there yet. I did go ahead and add the 110,000 skill points to my account at the character selection screen. You guys saw that earlier. And yesterday's video kind of surprised me, actually. I kind of expected most of you guys to want me to stick with the challenge in the purest extent. A lot of you guys were like, no, dude, take advantage of the Omega, because everybody else would if we had access to it. And a lot of people do have access to Twitch Prime. For those of you guys who don't know, if you have a Amazon Prime account, you also have Twitch Prime, which gives you one free subscription to a Twitch content creator. I don't do it anymore, but if you wanted to spend it on me, you're more than welcome to. And it also gives you access to all those games and all those freebies. So strongly recommend you utilize that. I think they have a free month of RuneScape right now. They have a half a month of EVE, and there's quite a few other things that you can get. So definitely recommend, if you've got it, hop over there, take a look at it, because it's just wasted away otherwise. But yeah, the overwhelming response was go ahead and use the time. I'm still kind of on the fence about it, but a lot of you guys basically came up with, well, you know, you keep saying if you didn't have these restrictions, money making would be a lot easier. So we're curious to see what you would do if, could you make it in those 2 weeks? And I don't know if I can make 2 million ISK in 2 weeks. We might be able to. So I've sat here theory crafting how I would go about doing it. Trade is definitely an option. We could jack up some of these skills, which would give us the ability to have more purchase orders, but again, we're not hitting that restriction yet because we just don't have the liquid capital. If we had, you know, a couple 100 million, that'd be a totally different ballpark. But at the moment, the purchases that I want to purchase, I cannot make enough of them to even get close to the 17. I think the lowest I got has been like 8, maybe 10. So I don't think that's an option. What I would probably do, and again, this is going to probably bum some of you guys out, but what I would do is I would jump probably 100% into mining barges. And the reasoning behind that is I think that'd be the best bang for my buck, hours-wise. If we come down, whoops, not exhumers. Exhumers are mining barges, big daddies. I believe it's the coveter that we would want. Yes, the Procure, I believe, is the DPS one. Go figure. And I believe the Retriever is the one that actually has the shield bonus. I thought one of them had a shield bonus. Maybe I'm missing. Okay, I guess not. I thought one of them did. Maybe that's under Exhumers. So, but the Coveter is the top tier big Billy badass, because you get the 2% reduction up to 5, so that'd give you a 10% reduction in strip miner and ice harvester duration. What that basically does is it speeds up your mining. So instead of 180 seconds, you're, you know, reduced. 18 seconds off of that is pretty significant. You get a 25% reduction on top of that's at 10%, by the way. With this, you're at what, 18 times 2.5. So that'd be 36 plus 9, which would be, oh God, 45. Yes. So that'd be a 45-second reduction. That's before our Orca buffs. Orca buffs would give you a 49.5. So you start getting down into that 180 seconds is down to 30 seconds now. And you start to see the power that you're looking at. Now, those numbers may not be multiplicative, and they may be added up slightly differently than what I've done there, and so it may not be quite that low. But if they're at 30 seconds, you're going to be chunking ore like crazy. Also, once you get into the coveters, you can start using strip miners, which is good and bad. The nice thing about the strip miners and the modulated strip miner, I think it's modulated. Well, I think you can use them in both. I'm not 100% sure. Fittings, variations, industry. I know you can use the crystals on the 2. Uses mining crystals, yes. And then the first one, I believe, does not, correct? Yeah, it doesn't say it uses those. Okay, so the strip miner 1, this thing is going to be pulling 675 M3 times 2 because the procurer can have 2 of those. That puts you at 1350 M3 per cycle. And if my math's right, and it may not be, you basically be filling up a venture every 4 minutes, maybe less. So you can see this is a pretty significant boost compared to what. Let's go find what a miner 1 does. Well, actually, we are using miner 2s, aren't we? So I should probably use that. That's 60 M3. So we've got 60 M3 versus 607. It's 10 times. It's 11 times better. A little more than 11 times. And then we've got 2 of them. So, you know, that's a huge increase. Now, the crystals, they're kind of a black sheep. They're awesome and they suck at the same time. The reason they're awesome is because they give you a big boost to the yield. The problem that you run into is the requirements. You can see here it requires Arconor. Well, for the Arconor 1, it requires Arconor processing, it requires metallurgy, and then reprocessing efficiency 5. That's the big dick in the butthole right there. So we wouldn't be using the top end crystals for a while. My main pyro can use all of the crystals because he's actually working on tier 5 for everything. So, which does bring up an interesting point. Did they actually give they did common moon ore mining. Okay. So yeah, the moon miners also have their own ore types, which Pyro has also trained. I think he has everything at 4 and most at 5. He's going to be working on Arknor, Bistic, Crocite, and working his way down there shortly. I actually went ahead and maxed out his moon mining ones because I expected that to be ridiculous. So yes, this is probably the route I would go. We would be able to probably jump straight into a barge because we do have the 500k. We'd get 2 of the mining lasers going. That plus Orca buffs, we'd be kicking tail pretty hard. Once things started getting long, I would be bumping into trade, and I'd be bumping into industry. One of the big drawbacks that we've been bumping into right now is only one science job is doable. With laboratory operations, each level of the skill allows us to get 1 extra job. So getting to 3 and 4 would probably take less than a week. Those 2, can I actually see how much it is? I think we can do that under science, right? Laboratory. Oh, it's a low skill. 256 is nothing. So yeah, it would probably take 1 day to get to 4. Advanced laboratory operations is probably, yeah, that's the big doohickey right there. You notice it's a level 0, 2 million skill points to cap that one out, whereas this one is only 256k skill points to cap out. So yeah, we would probably get up to 3 or 4 extra jobs, which would give us 5 science jobs at a time, which is going to allow us to quickly start getting our blueprints done. We would be multiplying our mining rate by 11 times, which is going to quickly allow us to mine a substantial amount of ore, especially the better ores that we would be pulling. And then at that point, I would be very tempted to fire up my own corporation. Now, I don't know if I've told you guys what my thoughts on doing that are, but what I've been considering doing. Whoa. Freaking Windows. Oh, I don't have it maximized. Hang on. You guys have this like black thing at the end of the screen. Sorry. Because I've been running them, and let's do fixed window, click apply. Hopefully that fixes it. Perfect. What I want to do, the refineries down here, these are the 2 that allow you to fit the moon miners. The difference between the 2 isn't huge. but there is a difference. This one is a 20% reduction in reprocessing fuel consumption. This was 25. This one is a 2% bonus to refining. This one's a 4% bonus. So I would probably buy one of these, and then I would buy 7 of these. And what the goal would be to do is, I believe and you guys will correct me if I'm wrong, I believe the maximum drill time is 8 weeks, or at least it used to be. I don't know if it still is. So what that means is, and I think the shortest time is like a week or maybe 4 days, something around there. So the goal would be, and the reason we'd buy 8 of them is you would buy the first one you would set up, and you would set it for the max time. And then the next one you would reduce it by a week, and then the next one reduced by a week. So from the week of setup, the following week, you would then have an ore field, and it would be kind of shitty, but you'd have one. You could mine it out, and then you immediately reset that one for 8 weeks. So now you have one for 8 weeks and one for 7 weeks that are both max yield. And then rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. After 8 weeks, you now have 8 refineries that are all pumping every week a max yield. And then that's on, let's say, Saturday. Well, if we got to the point where we can mine that out, then we just double it. And so at that point, now you have 16 refineries. So you have a Saturday and a Sunday where you always have ores, and then it gets kind of fucking ridiculous beyond that point. So the issue that we run into is Tataras are 6 billion ISK, which isn't, I mean, I can afford it, but that's more than I kind of want to spend. The Athenors are less than 1 billion ISK each. So getting 8 of these, I mean, hell, I can almost buy all 7 of those. Yeah, we're looking at under 6 billion ISK to set that up. So that going, plus the Orchid buffs going, we've got, a steady amount of cash coming in from the corporation, and we would just expand our little mining operation and production until we were happy with it. We would also have PvE operations. Now once I switch off of this, basically, like once we get done with the Omega setup, TDK Trader is going to be my PvE/PvPer. Pyro is going to be the buffer for the mining fleets, and then TDK Indy is going to be my industry and trader character. So TDK Trader, she's got all the skills, at least up to cruiser level, I think, for everything. So with her, we're gonna be doing the wormhole ops with her, Traveligian, Triglavian. I can never pronounce that. Those can be done as a group now. We'll be running groups for those, and that would be the general idea of it. So that would be my plan, more or less. Now, we could also go into trading right off the bat, but the main issue with the trading is I just don't have the money. I mean, if you look at everything right now, I got 22 million plus 10, so we're at about 32, maybe 33 million ISK, and it's just not enough to really bulk trade. So jacking up my skills for that isn't going to do us any good. It's not going to kick us over to where we're just making a killing all of a sudden. You know what I mean? And I know mining is slow and boring, but the nice thing about mining is, you can do other things while you're doing it. And ideally, I'd love to go and do PvE, like doing Triglavian, group runs while doing that on my other character, or maybe even doing some wormhole scouting and such along those lines. So there's a lot I want to do in Eve. I kind of wanted to give you guys the idea of what I would do if I decided to utilize this. Like I said, my main goal is I just don't want to upset anybody for utilizing this 2 weeks of free time. But at the same time, it seems like everybody who's talking, like 99%, I think there was like one guy who was like, nah, man, don't do it. But everybody else was like, dude, go run with that shit. So I'm getting tempted. I'm getting tempted because it would make things a hell of a lot faster. And then we can get into some more meatier content. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you like my plan? What holes in my plan do you see? Feel free to let me know in the comments section. As always, if you're enjoying this series and like my content, let me know by slapping that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next clip.